Hey, Namaskar. So, how are you all? I wish and I hope you are safe. Just be safe, be joyful, and keep smiling. Just be safe and be joyful. Finally, okay, we'll start. What we are continuing with right now, we are in class 7. We are studying physics. This is chapter 2. The chapter name is Motion, and this is the lecture 8 of Motion chapter. In the previous lecture, what we have studied is we have studied different types of motion, classification of motion, depending upon how the body is moving. If the body is moving with constant speed, we say the body is in uniform motion. If the body moves with variable speed, changing speed, we say the body is moving with non-uniform motion. And depending upon the fact that what we are saying is motion can be classified into two categories: uniform and non-uniform. For uniform means the speed is always the same, no problem. But for non-uniform, speed changes with time. Since speed changes with time, we need to introduce a new quantity called average speed, which we have defined earlierly. In the last lecture, we have already introduced what is average speed. Average speed is defined as total distance traveled in the journey. Total distance. What is the total distance traveled during a given journey divided by total time taken? These are the things which we have already discussed in the previous lecture. I hope you have seen the previous lecture. Please, if you have not, please go and watch it. It will be very helpful for you. Today what we'll do is we'll solve numericals. Today we'll solve numericals based on the topic of average speed. We'll be solving about 6 questions. So let's get started. Okay, come. Let's start. See, if you have to see, just let me clear one thing. If you ever have a fear of solving numericals in physics, don't worry. For the time being, just be with me, solve the numericals. By the time we complete this lecture, I'm sure your fear will be no longer present with you. Fine? So let's start. Don't worry about anything. Just be with me for the time being. A boy walks first a distance of 0.5 kilometer in 10 minutes. A boy. Suppose this is a boy. This boy starts from a point A and walks a distance of 0.5 kilometer in 10 minutes. 0.5 kilometer in 10 minutes. Fine. Suppose this person walks a distance of how much? 0.5 kilometer in 10 minutes and reaches a point B. Now again this person covers the next distance of 1 kilometer in 20 minutes. Then he further covers the distance of 1 kilometer. Let this distance be 1 kilometer and he covers this distance in 20 minutes. First he covers a distance of 0.5 kilometer in 10 minutes. Then again he walks and in 20 minutes and reaches a point C. Finally and at last covers 30 kilometer in 30 minutes. Oh my god. Covers the distance of 30 kilometer and reaches some other point, let it be D, in 30 minutes. This distance is how much? Is 30 kilometer in 30 minutes. So the question asked is, what is the kind of motion? First question is, what is the kind of motion? Find the average speed. I hope you got the point. Now the question is very simple. A person moves from point A to point B, covers a distance of 0.5 kilometer in 10 minutes, then from point B to point C and covers a distance of 1.5 kilometer in 20 minutes, then point C to D covers a distance of 30 kilometer in 30 minutes. And what you have to do is, you have to find what kind of motion is it. What we'll do is, we'll calculate the individual speed in each case, and then we'll see if the speed is same, the motion is uniform, else non-uniform. If uniform motion, then average speed remains the same as the original speed, and if non-uniform, we'll calculate it later on. Chalo, start the solution. Here, from A to B, distance is equals to 0.5 kilometer and time is equals to 10 minutes. If distance is in kilometer, time is in minute, therefore speed will be equals to, V is equals to distance by time, which is equals to 0.5 by 10 kilometer per minute, which will be equals to how much? 0.5. If I shift the decimal place, it will become 0.05 kilometer per minute. समझ में आया? Do you got the point? I just calculated when the person moved from A to B, what was his speed from A to B. Similarly, from B to C, let's calculate. Distance is how much? Distance is, B to C is this distance, 1 kilometer. And time is 20 minutes. I think I made a mistake. Did I make a mistake? I don't know. Let it be 20 minutes. Then again, distance is given to you, time is given to you. You know the formula, speed is equals to distance by time. So what is to worry about? You know the formula. Therefore, V is equals to distance by time. This distance is 1 by 20, which is equals to how much? 1 by 20, if you divide, this will be half by 0, again 0.05 kilometer per minute. Again, it's come out same. Now, we'll do the same thing when the person moves from C to D. From C to D, distance is how much? Distance is 30. I think there's something wrong. There has to be something wrong with it. Just a minute. Just correct. Yeah, I made a mistake. This is 1.5 kilometer. This is 1.5 kilometer. I made a mistake over here in copying the question. 1.5 kilometer. Sorry, yeah. The third distance is 1.5 kilometer. Then distance is 1.5 kilometer. Time is 30 minutes. Therefore, speed is equals to distance by time. Distance is 1.5 by 30. So how much? If I remove this decimal place, I'll get 15 by 300. This will cancel out with this. I'll get 20. It's 1 by 20. Same as 0.05 kilometer per minute. 1 by 20. 1 by 20, and if you don't agree to this, this can also be written as, just listen over here. If you don't know how to convert it into fraction, decimals, fine. Leave it like this, 1 by 20 kilometer per minute. This is 1 by 20 kilometer per minute. And similarly over here, this can be written as 5 by 100 cancel, which is equals to 1 by 20 किलोमीटर पर मिनट. देखो भैया बस कैलकुलेशन है और कुछ नहीं है, सिंपल डिविजन. आई होप यू नो एटलीस्ट, सी आई एम श्योर एटलीस्ट यू नो प्लस माइनस subtraction, division and multiplication. If you know these 4 things, that is sufficient for me. That is sufficient for me to handle. Now see over here, the speed throughout the journey is always the same. From A to B, the speed is 1 by 20 kilometer per minute. From B to C, the speed is 1 by 20. From C to D, the speed is 1 by 20 kilometer per minute. That is, the speed throughout the journey is same. Hence the motion is uniform. So at the end of the discussion, you just write. I'll just rub it. I'll just rub this part. So at the end, you just write something like this. At the end, what we'll write is, we'll just mention that since the speed of boy is same throughout the journey, hence the motion is uniform. Hence the motion is uniform, and average speed will be same as these speeds. देखो भैया, since the speed is same, average speed will also be same. Average speed is equals to same or constant, 1 by 20 kilometer per minute. Answer, घर जाओ. I hope it's clear. Let's try another question. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 2. I hope you understood the first question. If you haven't understood, doesn't matter. It's really very simple. Same question. Let's read the question first. A person travels 100 kilometers in 2 hours, and then next 200 kilometers in 10 hours. The question remains the same. What is the kind of motion? Find the average speed. The question is the same. What is the kind of motion and find the average speed. To know what is the kind of motion, we need to calculate the average. We need to calculate the speed when it moves 100 km in 20 hours and next 200 km in 10 hours. Means the solution is very simple. What we have to do over here, we have a person. Now to this person, we'll make him a devil. This is a devil. Now this devil is running at a point A. Then this covers a distance of 100 kilometer. Covers a distance of 100 kilometer in 2 hours. Fine. Then this is a point B. Now his thorns are down. He's tired now. He's exhausted. Now what happened is, after this, he again traveled a certain distance and covered a distance of 200 kilometer in 10 hours, and finally reached his home. And finally he was very happy after reaching home. A person initially, मुद्दे का बात ये है, the point to remember is, first he covered a distance of 100 km in 20 hours and next is 200 km in 10 hours. That is the point you need to remember. Let's start. Let's split the journey and see what happens. From A to B. From A to B, distance is 100 km. time is how much? Time is 2 hours. Therefore, speed is equals to distance by time, which is equals to 100 by 2. Since this is in kilometer, this is in hour, the unit of speed will be in kilometer per hour. I hope it's clear. If you cancel this, 2 cancel out 50 times, 50 kilometer per hour. Since distance is in kilometer, time in hour. From B to C, distance is 200 kilometer and time is 10 hours. Time is 10 hours. Now in order to do that over here, speed is equals to distance by time. Distance is 200, time is 10, kattam kutta khelo. Then finally you will be left with 20 kilometer per hour. Now, here's the difference. In moving from A to B, he moves at a speed of 50 kilometer per hour. He moves at a speed of 50 kilometer per hour. But in moving from B to C, he moves at the rate of 20 kilometer per hour. So, what kind of motion? Since the value of speed changes during the journey, hence, wait to write, head to write. Since the value of speed changes during the journey, hence it is a non-uniform motion. Therefore, average speed equals to how much? Average speed is equals to, what is the formula? The formula is total distance traveled by total time. Now see, first he travels a distance of 100 kilometer plus 200 kilometer divided by time, 2 hours, 10 hours. 2 hours, 10 hours, which is equals to 300 by 12. Then if I cancel this with 6, this will be 50 by 2, which is equals to 25. That is 25 kilometer per hour answer. Bas khatam. Had the speed been same, then motion would have been uniform motion and average speed would have been same. But since it is a non-uniform motion, therefore the average speed we have to calculate using this formula. I hope you understand. इससे आसान और नहीं हो सकता है. ठीक है? चलिए next question करते हैं. Okay, let's move on to the next question. That is question number 3. Finally, okay. The question remains the same. Now I just want to tell you something. See, the questions can be of various type, but the first thing is you need to read the question, then you need to visualize it by drawing a diagram, then you can solve it. First step, read the question properly. Then next step, try to visualize what the question is actually asking from you. Then you draw the pictorial representation of that question. And just solve it. Finished. Nothing else. Let's do it fast solution. Oh, acha. We have to read the question also. Let's read the question. A car travels 100 km with a speed of 25 km per hour. What it is saying is, bhaiya, we have a car over here, very fanciful car. This is our Mother Earth. Straight road. Now the car is initially at a point A and moves to a point B where the distance is how much? 100 kilometer. This distance is 100 kilometer at a speed of, it moves from here to here, it moves from here to here, here to here at the speed of 25 kilometer per hour. Fine, fine. Now then he covers the another, how much, 200 kilometer, 200 kilometer, and reaches a point C, in time, how much, at a speed of, speed is given, at a speed of 20 kilometer per hour. The question is very simple, just try to understand. This car initially covers a distance of 100 kilometer at the speed of 25 kilometer per hour, and then he covers a certain distance of 200 kilometers at a speed of 20 kilometer per hour, 25 kilometer per hour. What is they have asked? They said, what is the kind of motion? What is the kind of motion? Lollipop question. Lollipop question. What is the kind of motion? We can clearly see that the speed changes with time. Speed changes with time. So it has to be non-uniform motion. Here the speed changes during the journey. Changes during the journey. Therefore, it is non-uniform motion. Fine, fine. Now the question asked is tricky one over here. Find the average speed. Find the average speed. Find the average speed. This is the trick. This is the difficulty part. Find the average speed. We know what is the formula for average speed? Total distance traveled by total time. This is the first distance, second distance. Then we know the total distance will be 100 plus 200, 300. Total distance will be 300. But total time is not known to us. We do not know in what time the car from point A to B moves over here. We don't know this time. We don't even know this time. We don't know that. Are you getting the point? We can easily calculate the average speed, which is equals to total distance by total time. But bhaiya, you don't know the time. We don't know the time. So what we'll do is, we know the speed, we know the distance, we know the formula, speed is equals to distance by time. If speed is equals to distance by time, then time is equals to distance by speed. I have told so many times, we have already solved such numericals. Speed is equals to distance by time. Therefore, time is equals to distance by speed. So, using this relation, what we'll do is, we'll calculate this time and this time. So, let's do it. From A to B, we know the distance is how much? Distance is 100 kilometer. Speed is how much? 25 kilometer per hour. Since this is in kilometer, this is in kilometer per hour, therefore we know speed is equals to distance by time, which implies time is equals to distance by speed, which is equals to distance is how much? Distance is by 25. If we play Kattam Kutta crisscross, 25 fours are 100. This is 4 hours. Easy? Easy. That is, the car will move from A to B in time t equals to 4 hours. Similarly, from B to C, we know the distance is 200 kilometer. Speed is 20 kilometer per hour, and we know that speed is equals to distance by time, which implies time is equals to distance by speed, which implies distance is known to us, just put the value, time velocity is known to us, put the values, let's play crisscross, kattam kutta, this cancels, 10 hours. That is, this is how much? This is 10 hours. So finally, therefore, average speed is equals to total distance traveled by total time taken. What is the total distance? 100 plus 200. 100 plus 200. And total time is 4 plus 14, which is equals to 300 by 14 kilometer per hour. Answer. Just leave it like this. Finished. I hope you understood. Speed was given to us. Then just by looking at the speed, we can say the motion is uniform or non-uniform. That is clear? Clear. Since the speed is different, it has to be a non-uniform motion. So average speed is total distance traveled by total time. We know the total distance traveled, but we don't know the total time. So what we did is, we first calculated the individual time during the individual journey. Then finished. Thank you so much. Let's go for the next question. Okay, finally, this will be our last question, question number 4, and this is the most important of all, because it's completely different way to solve it. This is the last type of question which you can ever get in your book, or at this level at least, but it's very easy. Just try to understand. Very important. It's very important. A train travels from Agra to Delhi with constant speed of 60 km per hour. Just let's suppose this is a station. Oh, just a minute. That is, suppose this is one station, which is Agra. This is Agra, A for Agra. And over here I have another station, D for Delhi. D for Delhi. Now, the train moves from Agra to Delhi at a constant speed of 60 km per hour. It moves from Agra to Delhi with constant speed of 60 km per hour. Now, and returns back from Delhi to Agra with a constant speed of 40 km per hour. And constant speed of 40 km per hour. Now the question asked is, what is the kind of motion? See, first he covers this distance. We don't know what is, look over here. They have not even given us the distance between these two stations. Very smart they are. They have not given you the distance between the two stations. So the point is very simple. Let this distance be x kilometer. This distance is x kilometer. Let's just assume it. We have done so many assumptions in mathematics. Let the number be x, let this be x, let this be y. Let the distance between two stations be x. Now, the train moves from A to D, Agra to Delhi at a speed of 60 km per hour and returns back at a speed of 40 km per hour. Is these two speeds same? अरे ये तो अंधा भी बता देगा. 60 and 40 is same? No. So the motion is non-uniform. This is 60, 40 km per hour, 60 km. These two speeds are not same. Hence, the motion is non-uniform. Since the motion is non-uniform, we have to calculate average speed. That is the next question. Solution. Here the motion is non-uniform. Why non-uniform? Because the speed is not same. Now same thing. Now the question is exactly the same as in the previous case. Exactly same. जो question हम अभी करके आए हैं, sorry, the question which we have done so far is identical, just identical. Let's see. Since we have to calculate average speed, we know what is the formula. I hope. What is the formula for average speed? What is the formula for average speed? Thank you. Total distance traveled by total time. But total, it goes from here, it covers the distance x. It goes back again. Then what is the total distance traveled? It goes, covers the distance of x kilometer. It comes back, covers the distance x kilometer. What is the total distance? We know 2x, but we don't know the time. X, 2x. But we don't know the time. But we know the speed, distance, we know the speed, we can easily calculate the time. Let's do it. We know how to do it. From A to D. From A to D, distance is x kilometer. Distance is x kilometer. Speed is 60 kilometer per hour. Therefore, we know that speed is equals to distance by time, which implies time is equals to distance by speed, which is equals to x by 60 kilometer cancels, it will be r. I hope this is clear. I hope it's very clear. That is, it will move from this to this in x by 60 hours. And similarly, in the return journey from Delhi to Agra, again it covers a distance of, it's very simple bhaiya. If the distance between, if the onward journey covers x kilometer, then return journey will also cover x kilometer. If this is my house and this is your house, this is my house, if the distance between this is 20 kilometer, if once I go to your house, how much distance I have covered? Once I reach your house, how much distance have I covered? 20 kilometer. Once I leave your house and come back to my place, how much distance have I covered? Same. This is the point. So over here also it will cover x kilometer. Speed is given to you how much? 40 kilometer per hour. 40 kilometer per hour. Therefore again speed is equals to distance by time. Therefore time is equals to distance by speed. Therefore, oh my god, my voice gone. Distance is x, time is 40. This will be r, x by 40 hours. I hope this is clear. Speed was known to us. Distance we have assumed, we don't know the distance, doesn't matter. We have assumed, let's assume it to be x. Then we calculated time in terms of x. Therefore, average speed is equals to, again we know the formula, total distance. I'll rub this part. I'll just rub this part. We are done with this. Total distance traveled by total time. Now total distance is how much? जाने में x, आने में x. Total x plus x. Divided by total time. X by 60 plus x by 60 plus x by 40. Oh, I hope you know LCM. Do you know LCM? I do not know. Then what to do? See, x plus x will become 2x. Just try to follow, please. X plus x, 2x, very simple. Now, this is not same. Then what we'll have to do is we'll have to do the LCM. I know you're not understanding anything. I'll do it in the side. I'll just do it over here. I'll just do it over here. See over here. X by 60 plus x by 40. What will be the LCM? LCM will be 60 into 40. Now, when you divide this by 60, you are left with 40. 40 into x, 40x. कुछ समझ में नहीं आया होगा. When you divide this by 40, 40 cancels out. 60 into x, 60x. This is equals to 100x by 60 into 40. Means this 0 cancels out, this 0 cancels out, we are left with x by 24. So this value when added together, I hope I have the camera, will give me x by 24. This is 2x. This is equals to 2x into, when this in the denominator is brought in the numerator, it will become reciprocal. 24 by x. This x cancels out. Answer will be 48 kilometer per hour. Answer. I hope it's clear to you. Dekho, see, this is the LCM which you must know. Bhaiya, I don't know anything. You must know LCM, so you must know. So I've just calculated this. See, we did not knew the distance. Actual distance between the two stations was not known to us. But for the calculation of average speed, we never bothered about it. We just assumed it to be x. Later on, the x term mutually cancels out. So no problem. This is all clear. But that's it. All you need to know, what is uniform motion, what is non-uniform motion. For non-uniform motion, the speed constantly changes throughout the journey. Hence, we introduce what is called average speed, total distance traveled by total time. For uniform motion, the speed remains the same and it is equivalent to average speed. You don't have to calculate average speed. It's the same. And this is how we calculate numericals. I hope we have done 4 numericals. Just go through these 4 numericals once again. You will be able to do all the numericals. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Peace out.